Okay, so this one takes me back to when I was just 11 years old, still a kid, still thinking the world was safe as long as I stayed where my parents dropped me off. Spoiler, it wasn't. There was this huge park complex my parents used to take us to. It had everything: playgrounds, restaurants, shops, even places where you could take classes: karate, dance, painting, you name it. My parents loved it because they could drop me and my twin brother off and we'd be safe until pickup time at 9. That night started out normal. Around 8 p.m., my friend had to run off to her dance class, so I figured I'd kill time finding my twin brother. But I'd been running around all day, and I got winded halfway there, so I decided to duck into one of the air-conditioned shops to catch my breath. Biggest mistake of my life, I pushed open this random shop door and realized it wasn't a store, it was some kind of painting. Class space, canvases, brushes, the smell of acrylics. But here's the thing, it was empty, totally empty, except for one man, an old man, white shirt, covered in stains like he used markers for breakfast. He looked up the second I stepped in, smiled this crooked smile that didn't reach his eyes, and said, "Want to watch me paint?" Now, I was 11, didn't really know how to say no to adults, so I shrugged and said, "Sure." He led me to a table with a half-finished canvas, and what he was painting, a baby, not cute, not sweet, creepy, like off-proportioned and unsettling. Then he handed me his phone and said, "Record me." So I did. I sat there silent, holding his phone, recording him paint, for what felt like forever. 20 minutes go by, and no one else comes in. No one. Just me and him. And every second that ticked by, I kept wondering why the shop was so empty. Eventually, I got thirsty, so I asked, timidly, if he had any water. That's when his whole vibe shifted. The crooked smile got wider. He brought back 2 cups of water, sat down, and suddenly stopped caring about the painting. Instead, he turned all his attention on me. "What school do you go to?" he asked. I lied. Gave him the name of my old school because something in my gut told me not to be honest. "Do you live around here?" he asked, another lie. "Nope, not really." Then he leaned in and said, "Do you have Instagram? Can I follow you?" Now, at that age, I wasn't totally dumb. I knew this was bad, but I was also too shy and scared to just walk out. So I gave him the username of a fake account I barely used. I was dying to call my mom, but my phone was dead, left it in the car to charge. So I did the one thing that made everything spiral. I asked to borrow his phone to call her instantly. The fake smile disappeared. He glared at me, his voice low and sharp. "Go outside, I'll call her." Terrified, I did as he said, walked out into the near empty park. It was dark, past 9 p.m., and most families were already gone. That's when he followed me out, and before I could even breathe, he grabbed my wrist, yanked me into the alley beside the shop, slammed his hand over my mouth. My head cracked against the wall. I thought I was gonna die right there. He leaned down, face inches from mine, and hissed, "If you want to live, do what I say." I nodded like crazy. Then he dragged me deeper into the alley, behind the shop. There, he grabbed a rope tied around a dead tree. He bound my arms, my legs even gagged me with it. I was tied up like a broken doll. Then he disappeared back inside the shop through a back door. For a moment, I just froze, brain completely blank. Then something clicked. Survival mode. See, my cousin used to tie me up as a kid when we played kidnapper. And because of that, I'd learned how to wriggle out of ropes. Never thought it would save my life, until it did. With every ounce of strength, I worked the knots, my wrist burned, my heart pounded, my throat was raw from the gag, but I got free. Just as the back door opened, I saw him drop whatever he was carrying, maybe tools, maybe worse, and sprint toward me. I bolted out of that alley, like my life depended on it, because it did. I shoved past what little crowd was left in the park until I found my brother. He looked at me like I was insane, asked why I was freaking out, and I just kept repeating, "It's nothing." Minutes later, my mom picked us up. I never told her. Never told anyone. I tried to bury it. Forget it. Convinced myself I was overreacting. But then about a month later, I went back to that park, walked past that same painting shop, and froze. Because through the window, I saw the same old man sitting across from another girl my age. She looked uncomfortable, scared. I looked away, pretended I didn't see it, shoved it into the deepest part of my brain, and never spoke of it again. Until now, years later, the shop is gone. He's gone. And I have no idea if he ever succeeded in doing what he planned. But I still can't stop wondering, Did someone else not escape like I did?